Hi, my name is Meira Schneider-Atik, and I am here to teach you how to look good within Jewish law. One aspect of that is hair covering for married women, and one aspect of that is Mitpachot. Now, a lot of women have said that they've gotten a little intimidated when they see these elaborate layered wraps, and they're thinking, what if I just prefer to wear one scarf? How will I look that good? Thanks in part to my friend Miri, who started the One Scarf Challenge, we know that you can look that good, even with just one scarf. There's nothing wrong with wearing one scarf at a time. I myself do it all the time. Not all the time. I do like to layer, sometimes. But the fact is, you're not going to look any less amazing in a one scarf wrap, as long as you do it right. So today's tutorial is about how to look your best with just one scarf. The number one rule for wearing just one scarf at a time is that the color has to flatter you. Now, I've often said that if there's a color out there that you love but that doesn't love you, it's okay to wear it as long as you layer it and you wear it away from your face with a more flattering color next to your face. But with only one scarf, you don't have that option. And remember that your hair covering sits closer to your face than anything else, so it has to make your face look good. It has to flatter your coloring. Now, you also have to consider fabric weight and texture. In the dead of winter, I like to take 2 or even 3 lighter weight scarves and layer them together for extra warmth. But if you're only doing one scarf, you will want to go with a heavier weight scarf like a pashmina. In the dead of summer, though, you can imagine that you're going to want to go with a lighter weight scarf that doesn't feel so hot and heavy next to you. Now, you also have to consider the texture. If it's going to fall on your skin, and especially if the scarf is going to cover your ears, naturally you're going to prefer softer texture, softer feel. But if the scarf has a stiffer texture, you can still do it, but you'll want to tie it a little more loosely so that the fabric doesn't rub too much against your skin. It doesn't feel too tight. Then also you have to consider the context and which wrap you're going to wear. The more casual the context, the simpler the wrap you're going to want to wear. A more casual context generally calls for a solid color scarf in a simpler wrap, like a basic round wrap or a basic turban wrap. I got to admit, I love the turban wrap for all occasions, and I love wearing it. I do it all the time. But for work, where I feel like I have to look just a little more special, I love the chignon in the summertime. Thank you, Zahava, for that. It makes me feel a little bit more dressy. In the wintertime, of course, I always go for a turban wrap. And thank you to all those out there who taught me the different variations on the turban wrap, so it doesn't always have to look the same. If, however, it's Shabbat or Yom Tov or even just a nicer day than usual and you want to jazz it up and add a little fun, you can either wear a solid color scarf and add a pin or a necklace on top of it like a headband, or you can go even easier and go with a print. Now, maybe you're like me and you prefer a print that comes off more like a texture. I prefer textures. Or, hello, Mr. Assistant, hand me that the scarf, thank you. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Moshe. Hi, I'm Yosefi.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. This scarf also comes off like a texture, although an animal print tends to be a little bit more dramatic, but still the colors are close enough so that it comes off more like a texture. And I need the other scarf now. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Or maybe you prefer a more dramatic print, like this one, which has all these beautiful blocks of color. Now, I love wearing print scarves to jazz things up, but just a word of warning, if you're going to do a print scarf, especially if it's a dramatic print and not just a texture. You don't want to add a pin or a headband or a jeweled headband to it, because if either one of those things is too subtle, it'll get lost next to the print. If it's dramatic, it'll compete with the print. Save the pins and the other bling for solid color scarves. And also, if you're looking for a more dramatic look, consider the wrap. Consider the wrap itself. I love a turban wrap. It always works. But again, the chignon works, and there are a whole bunch of other wraps that work just great. The key is to play around and experiment and see what works for you. So just remember, we're here to inspire, not to intimidate. So when you wear your one scarf wraps, just play around, see what works for you, own them, love them. And thank you to my assistant.
I can know growling.
And my other assistant.
And my
Thank you. Enjoy.